From time to time we are treated with some amazing value pieces of gear, even in the realm of folding knives. Meet the CIVIVI Vision FG, an incredible knife for the money that ticks so many boxes. First of all, a big thank you to CIVIVI is in order for sending me this sample, which I think is such a cool and complementary color combo. The yellow scales are of course made from Ultem, that magic thermoplastic material. The whole knife is designed by a guy called Snack Stan, hence his name on the blade. So let's get the highlights out of the way. It features a fully ambidextrous and extremely fidgety locking mechanism called the Superlock, which is basically a variation per se of the shark lock from Demco knives. This is how it looks, courtesy of Pete. Underneath his finger we have the flying retention spring. So if you open the knife, be warned, this will fly into another dimension. As for the 3.5 inch long blade, we have this flat grind reverse tanto profile made from Nitro-V, which is very similar to AABL stainless steel if you want a quick reference. I will link Laren Thomas's article down below since he is the man to listen to when it comes to metallurgy. Then the whole thing is run on caged ceramic ball bearings, which adding the specs so far, you can see why I'm so excited about this knife. Packaging is spot on since you even get this protective case, usually reserved for expensive knives. So let's dive deeper. The Ultem scales have plenty of grooves which have adequate traction in the hand. Also those 3 big milled holes in the handle are pass-through. Besides weight reduction and easier cleaning, I guess, I found them to offer some extra ergonomics for my fingers. The pocket clip is a deep carry profile, and at least for this sort of pants, it's more than enough retention for me. All the bolts on the knife are Torx, and as you can see the fit and finish are top notch. Check out that perfect blade centering. Again, this is a $100 knife we are talking about. What about blade play? None that I can feel. Don't know if this is DLC coated, so time will tell how the finishing will last and I will update accordingly. That 4th smaller hole above the pivot is that so you can see how the Superlock engages. Such a cool detail. Speaking of, the Superlock is ridiculously fidgety by design, so you can deploy it either way you want. Even Spidey flick it despite the thumb studs being so close to the frame. To disengage the lock, just press downwards on the spine. It works way better if you hold the knife vertically a bit because of those smooth bearings, and then gravity will do the rest. So this knife will keep you busy from a fidgety point of view. The detent is strong, so no worries it will open by mistake. As for a size perspective, here it is next to the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So the CIVIVI is quite compact if you are looking for something of this nature. Furthermore, it kinda has the same footprint as the Leatherman Skeletal and it weighs around 4 ounces. Any negatives? Well, personally I find it a bit too small for my hands after my first interaction with it, or I'm just too used to the ergos of my PM2. Then I would prefer some jimping on the spine to help you better when you use the finger choil a bit more. Also, your finger might get sore initially since the profile on the Superlock tab is a bit sharp. No problem with gloves, but here is a quick workaround. I find it way more comfortable to close the knife, more like a lighter. So yeah, go figure. Make sure you oil the bearings a bit because it sounds squeaky out of the box, at least when deployed in an angle. Lastly, I'm intrigued why this side is missing a screw, since the pocket clip already has 2 bolts in place, and obviously the clip can be moved on either side. Cutting performance is just amazing, no surprises there given its blade profile. Thicker zip ties? No problem. What about food prep? It's a proper slicer, exactly what I personally prefer in terms of a blade grind. So yeah, what more to say? I'm genuinely impressed of how well built this knife is and how much fun the Superlock is. The fact that it ticks so many right boxes from the get-go, you will have no problem overcoming any nitpicking considering its asking price. Furthermore, I will link all of its brothers in the description, since the CIVIVI Vision FG can be had in a total of 8 variations, even a Damascus blade with micarta handles for example. So yeah, if you want a fully ambidextrous, well-built fidgety knife that is a proper slicer without breaking the bank, then this seems to be the perfect first choice.